You better lock in. I don't care if you agree or disagree on some of my picks here, but I'm a Scorpio. That means that I'm always right. Hey chat, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Allie, and you better lock in because we're about to do a bunch of yapping today. I'm going to be showing you a list of books that I would do anything to be able to read again, and I give the title as my Roman Empire books. Now, you may ask, what is a Roman Empire book? These are books that I would sell my soul to read again, and I think about them every single day since I've read them. The characters and the stories of these books have embedded themselves so deep into my brain that I will never be able to not live my life without thinking of them at least several times a week. Some of these books I also haven't read in about 3 years, and I still think about them. You better lock in. I don't care if you agree or disagree on some of my picks here, but I'm a Scorpio. That means that I'm always right. I made like a short form video of this on my TikTok, basically just like breezing through all of my favorite books that I've ever read. I decided that I would give the people and the girlies what they want. A good long yap session, spoiler free, all fantasy reads on a silver platter for you bitches to eat up. So sit back, grab some popcorn, make yourself a cup of coffee, some tea, maybe a nice little crispy drink, and eat up. You're welcome. Before I get started though, please make sure to like and subscribe. A lot of you bitches are watching my videos and not subscribed. What's the tea with that? I also have a book talk and a bookstagram, which you can go follow and join me. I'm very active on both of those accounts, basically several times a week. So if you want to see what I'm up to throughout the week, then please go check me out there. In other words, I am also we're almost at 700 subs, which means we're getting closer to 1,000 subs. Thank you for all the support. I really appreciate it. I'm very excited to yap about all of these books that have ingrained their perfect little words into my being, and if I were to get my memory wiped, not know who I am, my name, where I'm from, anything, I would be so happy to be able to read every single one of these books front to back for the first time again. I'm putting all of these books on a pedestal. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I'm going to go through all of these books in like chronological order, and they're all gonna be spoiler free, I promise. The first set of books, of course, it wouldn't be a Roman Empire Allie video without ACOTAR in it. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses almost 3 years ago, if not 3 years ago now. And I literally think about it every single day. Before 3 years ago, I was not a reader. I had no interest in reading. Every time anyone suggested that I read, I wanted to gouge my eyes out because that's how blatantly unfun it sounded to me. And then somehow, some way, I didn't have a booktube, I didn't have a bookstagram, book talk, nothing. I was not in the book girly community at this point. Somehow, A Court of Thorns and Roses slithered her little way onto my TikTok feed one day, okay? It was meant to find me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a go. Ordered A Court of Thorns and Roses off of Amazon. Now, none of this would be here if it wasn't for this series. So, this series catapulted me into my reading addiction and my romantasy obsession. Now, these 3 books are specifically on my list of Roman Empire books. I'm gonna go through them one by one. First, of course, everybody loves A Court of Mist and Fury. I love A Court of Mist and Fury. Is it my favorite book in the series? No. But it's upside down. Is it my favorite book in the series? No. It gets an extremely honorable mention because this book is chef's kiss. If you haven't read this series, this is a perfect, just like peanut butter and jelly, easy fantasy read. The world building is not tough to get into. I loved all the characters in this series. This series has heavy fantasy politics, which is what I found to be the most fun because it's not just about romance. There is a lot of romance in this, but it's built so perfectly. And Rhysand, I still call him Rhysand in my head. He is the first book boyfriend that I have ever met, and I was crawling on the floor, gnawing on the bars of my enclosure, barking for this man. I still think about him, and he is probably top 3 book boyfriends that I have ever read. If you need a very good, like very easy to get into series, this is 100% the series for you to start with. If you've never really tried fantasy before and you want to get into it, or like you've heard the hype about ACOTAR but you've never tried it, definitely try it. A Court of Wings and Ruin is my favorite book in the series, and it is probably, if not my most favorite book that I have ever read. I have never been so emotionally distraught and heartbroken. Sarah J. Maas literally ripped my heart out, threw it on the ground, stomped on it, lit it on fire, stabbed it a million times. She expected me to persevere through all of this emotional trauma. This is an emotional weapon, this book. If you need a good cry, oh my gosh, I loved this book. It was long, the whole, just like the battle kept me on the edge of my seat the whole time. I was terrified. Honestly, I did not know what Sarah J. Maas was gonna do to me by the end of this book. She terrorized me emotionally, just like my ex-boyfriend. Haven't read it since I did my first read through like 3 years ago, but I'm planning on doing a reread once Sarah announces the 6th book, which needs to be any day now, by the way. Hey Sarah. And then I also wanted to throw A Court of Silver Flames into this. Now, there is a lot of controversy about Nesta in this. People love to tear up Nesta online. They love it. I literally have a tattoo for the bitch. Nesta is one of my favorite female main characters that I have ever read. She resonated with me so deeply that I got a fucking tattoo for her because I have never felt so seen and recognized and understood in the long, hard journey, the 10,000 staircase it takes to get through trauma and to find yourself. I love Nesta. One of the best character developments. I specifically put this book on my Roman Empire list because Nesta is so misunderstood and judged and hated even by people that read this book. And I resonate deeply with it. I've gone through a bunch of crap throughout my life. I felt very deeply with her and I understood exactly the message of this book. This is a great book for us mental health girlies and freaky girls. If you're a freak, have at it. Now, if we were to go next in chronological order, I've got Serpent in the Wings of Night and Ashes in the Star-Cursed King. If you have not read these books, I am so jealous. I also threw in Six Scorched Roses in here. It's the novella. You can read it either in between these books or after. The only complaint I have for this book is that it wasn't longer. It's so easy to read, but the story was so magical. I loved Lilith and Vale. They were so cute. I wish she made this like a full-length book like she did for Rain and Oriah. But it's okay. It's still very sweet, a very good palate cleanser. Definitely recommend this book. Now on to the best vampire books you're ever gonna read. I literally knew within 10 pages of reading this book that it was gonna be so captivating, and I was so drawn into the world building. This is one of the most incredible world building books. Carissa put so much thought and effort into building this vampire world that I was immersed into it from the get-go, and I loved it. The politics of it, the romance. Rain is, I love Rain. Rain is top 3 favorite book boyfriends of all time. He is such a good main male character. Oriah is also one of my favorite female main characters I've ever read. She's such a badass. Not the kind of badass female main character that's like cringy and insufferable and like super stubborn. The betrayal in this is insane. The last like 100 pages of this were crazy. I didn't see any of it coming. Ashes in the Star-Cursed King is also equally as good. I think the ending is not as good as Serpent in the Wings of Night, but the forced marriage, the whole like Oriah finding her past secrets, her familial history. Rain and Oriah are genuinely one of my favorite couples I've ever read. If you haven't read this duology, please, please, please do. The Crowns of Nyaxia series are a 3-set duology series. So this is the first completed duology in the House of Night. Next I have the Lightlark series. This is one of my favorite series that I've read kind of recently in like the last 6-ish months. And I am not sure why it gets as much hate as it does, but it is so fun. I love Isla. That's how I say her name. I think that Alex Astor actually pronounced her name Isla, but I pronounce her Isla. There's really good trials / like a competition in this. The magic system is so fun and unique. I really liked it. The love triangle. Don't even get me started. I personally really like it. I think that Alex wrote this really well. I think that maybe Skyshade, the last like portion of it, could have been written like a little bit better, but overall I really like the series and it's one of my favorite. It's definitely an easier fantasy read, just like ACOTAR. I would say that Lightlark and ACOTAR are probably good like starting fantasy series for anyone who's trying to get into it. Big heart and love for Alex Astor. I don't know how to put into words how much I loved this book. I annotated her. I am so excited for the next book. This is a very, very good enemies to lovers book with a very interesting magic system with alchemy. I've never read a alchemic based magic system and this was very fun. There's Fae in here. I think that this is also a pretty easy read for anyone who is also getting into fantasy. This is so good. I devoured this book. I loved Saris, loved Kingfisher. All of the characters in this book were so good and fun. I also don't know why this book gets any type of hate. I'm a diehard Quicksilver girly. This is one of the best fantasy books that I have read in a while, and this also is very similar to ACOTAR. If you love like the human fae kind of worlds collide, this is your go-to book. There's also vampires in it, but it's not like a heavy focus until like the last portion, I would say. It's got a good amount of everything. 10 out of 10, one of my favorite books that I have ever read. So good. Honestly, I wasn't gonna put A Study in Drowning in here. As I was racking through my bookshelves, I was like, how can I not? A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed is such a cute fantasy book. Not spicy, it's very cute. There's a large emphasis on mental health for this too, especially for the female main character, and it's kind of spooky. I think this is probably like a really good like Halloween based book if you want to get into something in the fall if you haven't read this yet. I think that the second book actually does come out this year. It's like an academic based college, like architectural college. Effie has to go on this journey to help complete a project with the MMC, and they discover a lot of creepy things along the way. There's also fae in this book, but it's not like the cute fae, it's like scary fae. This is a good like little spooky innocent romance. It's very cute. I definitely recommend it. I wouldn't say it's like a Roman Empire book for me, but it's definitely one of my recent favorites that I just thought that I had to show and share. This book. How do I describe the love and infatuation I have for this book? Yes, I did take this book through airport security and it did get checked at TSA because I thought it was a weapon. Maybe it wasn't a weapon, but it was an emotional weapon. When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker, I think is one of the best fantasy books that has been written in a very long time. She put so much effort and detail into this world. There's dragons in it. The whole magic system is so unique. It's like a high fantasy, such a like entrancing world that I ate up. And I don't know why this book gets hate either. I would assume it's because it's kind of harder to get into just based off of how much world building it is. Personally, I really enjoyed how much time she put into the world building because I feel like a lot of the fantasy books that are being put out and everyone's eating them up, in my opinion, there is no world building. It is very lazy writing. Also currently reading Heavenly Bodies, and I think you bitches are lying to me about it. I kind of hold this book at a high pinnacle of how fantasy books should be written. You can tell that she put so much love and care into this world and the characters. Great cliffhanger. I think that it's very obvious that this is going to be a really good series. and I'm very, very excited for the next book. And finally, this is my most recent book that I just finished. I have not seen a single person talk about it on TikTok, YouTube, anything. Has anyone heard of this book, Scarlet Veil? I devoured the 650-page book in 5 days, and I am foaming at the mouth and cannot wait for the next book to arrive at my house. The writing is amazing. I know that a lot of people, including myself, can get a little like frustrated and kind of sick of like the female main characters that are just badasses that need to be like assassins and warriors and strong and emotionless. Celie is the complete opposite. She is so sweet, so soft, innocent, cute girl, and is very sensitive, emotional. This is a vampire book as well. This is probably, I would say, one of my most favorite vampire books I've read since Serpent and the Wings of Night, which was 2.5 years ago now. It's just like a very good enemies to lovers. They fucking hate each other. And he is really intimidating and super scary, very grumpy, emotionless, like not fun to be around. There's no spice in it, very minimally spicy. It kept me on the edge of my toes the whole time, and I am so excited for the next book. I think that the ending of this book was super fun and there were a lot of plot twists, so I'm excited to try the next book. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone talk about this book. I thoroughly recommend it. It's a new addition to my Roman Empire books, and this is also a really good book if you need something fun Halloween vibes when fall comes around. This is really good. The book is basically set in like a Halloween town, so it's really cool, and I love Halloween, so this was genuinely right up my alley. I loved this book. Now that's all I got. That was a lot of yapping, a lot of books to be talked through, but I would be lying if I said I didn't think about any of these books several times a week, and they are what has built my reading taste brick by brick, and my personality solely resides within all of these books. Promise I'm not steering you wrong. I know that this list is probably gonna change soon because I have not read Throne of Glass yet. I literally have the whole series on my shelf up there though. Sorry. But I'm planning on starting the first book within the next like month or so. Maybe I'll start it in May as part of my TBR. I'm just like so genuinely intimidated by the series because of how long and, as I've heard, emotionally terrorizing it is. I'm scared. I'm gonna read it, I promise. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you've read any of these books and if you have the same thoughts and opinions as me or you disagree. Again, I am Scorpio and I'm right about everything. You can disagree, but you're also gonna be wrong. I'm gonna go grab Cannoli real quick. I'm gonna give you guys like a little update on him. He's currently sleeping and resting, so let me go grab him. Cannoli baby had a bit of an accident last week. He's doing a lot better and doing a lot of resting. As you can tell, he's very sleepy. He's been sleeping a lot. He hit his head pretty hard and has been in the ICU for a couple days. We were all very scared. He's doing a lot better now, but he's very, just not himself yet. Just wanted to show you guys him. Let you guys know that he's okay and that he's perfect and he loves you guys. He is just on his road of recovery. I'm gonna go let him rest because he's been sleeping a lot and he needs to sleep. I'm gonna say bye, Cannoli baby. Bye guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. We love you very much. I'm gonna let Cannoli go sleep a little bit. But we'll see you in our next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And we'll give Cannoli some big loves and support in the comment section.